you back to our own Earth planet.
Earth planet? Never. Shall I tell you why? Because I know too much. Here in Solmo, I've learned truth and essence. I speak of the dignity, the nobility of pure evil.
Would you have me some boots?
Humanism, morals, principles, this rubbish, nonsense. I speak only of truth and of essence.
What have you done with the positronic ray?
I said that's it.
What does it do?
All persons and objects. Miss... You're trapped.
Captain of Chain of Wings.
In the scream heard around the world. That was the reaction from Mrs. Lawton when she was introduced to me in The Bride of Frankenstein. And that was the voice of the late Ernest Thesiger, playing the peculiar Dr. Pretorius. I found my voice in this sequel and mumbled a few lines. Perhaps you'd like to hear them again. And now, for our lesson. Remember, this is bread. 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 And this is wine. To drink. Drink, drink. Good, good. We are friends, you and I. Friends. Bread. Before you came, I was all alone. It is bad to be alone. Alone. Bad. Friend. Good. Friend. Good. Now come here. And what is this? This is wood for the fire. Wood. And this is fire. No, no. Fire is good. Fire, no good. Ah, there is good and there is bad. Good. Bad. But in the end, I decided my reluctant bride and I were better off dead, and told Colin Clive so in no uncertain terms. I can't leave them, I can't. Yes. Go. You live. Go. You stay. We belong dead.
What? What's the big deal about a snowplow? Is it a camera? It looked great. What else you taking pictures of fucking trees?
I really thought they'd done me in that time.
Well, it's hard to see what's going on.
The monster had escaped and was ravaging the countryside. Grabbed me by the arm. One doesn't easily forget here, Baron. An arm torn out by the roots.
And we all looked the arm gone.
Bela Lugosi was back in Son of Frankenstein, and in a completely off-track role. Well, they stole puppies. They said. In 1935, when I was appearing in The Bride of Frankenstein, I remember a very talented New York stage actor was making his debut on the lot in The Werewolf of London. That was Henry Hunt.
Turn around and film this.
His epitaph was spoken by one of the cinema's grand old ladies of the past.
Through no fault of your own.
Hold on, stay right
But as the rain enters the soil, the river enters the sea. So tears run to a predestined end. Your suffering is
You
over.
guys having a hell of a time.
Now you will find peace.
Most people are afraid of me. Okay, put him right here. Let me get macro lens.
From where his heart once beat, and he would rise from the grave within which he lies, and turn into a bat, a vampire bat, who would feed hideously upon the living, whose veins pulsate with warm and vibrant blood. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen,
get up over to your eyes and you look better.
and that, my friends, draws to a close my reminiscences and recorded excerpts of highlights from a golden age of Gothic terror, when Frankenstein and Dracula, the Wolfman and Imhotep were young, well, comparatively, and when many great practitioners of the macabre, now gone to their rewards, were enacting roles which earned them undying honors in Fight Film's Hall of Fame. To a bit, for that was surely what you wanted, wasn't it? With some of my own weird characterizations. And so, till we meet again, may all your nightmares have happy endings in the final reel. Good night, and sleep well.
Too bad you weren't filming it. Hang on, we're going down there. Film it.
It's like a dinosaur skeleton.
Get your fucking migrant workers and stuff. Gonna film it.
Dracula, sir.
What is it, Jeeves?
The Invisible Man is here, sir.
Well, tell him I can't see him.
Very good, sir. But there's also a lady that wishes to speak with you.
Show her in.
My love.
Vampire, it's up tonight. Let's forget them while we have a night. For I only have eyes for you, dear.
I'll be yours, you'll be mine, while we're floating on shroud number 9. For I only have eyes for you.
This is a special kind of moment. I'd like to disappear on you. 'Cause I just wanna neck. I just wanna neck. Good evening. I'm Ed Furrow. And the name of the show is Real Art. What is that music I hear? Hi-fi from your phonograph? No, Ed. That's FM from Mortuary. Alfred, what's in all those drawers along the wall? Well, this one here, Mark F, is full of feet. From here, it looks like it's full of hands. Excuse me, Ed. I'm so tiny. Where does that door lead to? Ed, before we go out into the yard, do you mind if I light up a cigarette? Not at all.
I'm gonna go run down alongside of it, shoot the fucking whole thing. Another one of these fucking guys, look.
Yeah, leave him right there. Lens. Stick him in it. Got it pretty good.
That's right.
Oh, don't go anywhere, don't go anywhere. Oh, cool!
Shoot that.
I think I got when he flew off.
It's running, right?
I don't know. Yep. Hit this dead tree.
This whole thing just whited out on me. How come?
Don't worry about it. It still shoots the same.
Alright, why does it do that?
I don't know. Something to do with the sun on the thing.
Yeah.
I think I got him when he took off too. That's gonna be excellent if he did. Look at, there he is again. This cool motherfucker. He's our partier today. Want some beer?
Life is in your hands, so do it like you mean it.
I was out of grade school at 6, high school at 8, college at 10 and a half, and afflictions over me. I was a teenage brain surgeon, a teenage brain surgeon, a knocked out, fractured brain surgeon, the sharpest operator in town, while the other kids were digging Dick Clark brain surgeon, a teenage brain surgeon, a rock and rollin' brain surgeon, the sharpest operator in town.
First time that we
Maestro, may I have an arpeggio? Not on your ribs, Oscar. On the piano.
See how high up ahead? We're fucked. We ain't gonna
Oscar, you look worse than I do. That's because I've been well, Boris. When I was first constructed back in 1929, they had 100 scientists all working overtime. They even had a graveyard shift on my assembly line. Everything happened
which way you came
to
in?
me.
try to get out.
They mixed me up with strangers, and they didn't care what kind.
Uh-oh, here comes Claus. Hurry up.
Right through my neck and fastened it behind. But when they dropped my brain, that's
just
when I
dropped that fucking
almost lost my mind. Everything happened to me. Old Mother Nature really threw the book at me. No wonder I'm the type that women jilt. 'Cause when they stop and take a second look at me, they holler, man, that monster's really built. I never get invited out
It's not the same way, is it?
unless it's Halloween. When people see my kisser, they turn every
No, I'm just saying.
shade of green. And when I go to movies, all the actors leave the screen. Everything happens to me.
You could wind up lost in the fucking North Woods over this stuff.
My son turned out to be a teenage Frankenstein, a college man exactly like myself. In case you wish to see this teenage Frankenstein, you will find him in a bottle on my shelf. Well, here I am in prison. I have only this to say, that in the last analysis, I learned crime doesn't pay. They're hanging me at dawn. What a lousy way to start
You know what?
the
That
day.
should be good.
Everything happens. short son, the invisible man was real gone. Running through, they were dressed to kill, and the monster moved and ball. Everybody was there from the house of wax. Mighty Joe Young played a honky sax. The witch doctor got up and sang, ooh, ting, ting, walla, walla, bing, bang. Peter Rory was late, but he get up late for the monster moving ball. Oh, the man was playing, don't be cruel. A mother was dancing with a real cool. They was there from outer space, rolling on Penny Hot all over the place. I saw a blow, a new straw, and the monster moving ball. Oh, the best but the soul is red. Well, they danced all night till the sun appeared. Man alive, they surely be after much there was dead on his feet. What a thrill, and on space there, the monster moving ball.
Enough of that. That's pretty. Now look at all fun.
I haven't found one since I was 21. 100 years old.
You don't look at me, you do now.
Shut the door. Go ahead, I'll tell you if any cars. I got it covered. Keep filming it.
Old flame. Honey, I can remember everything else. Like
Good trick,
that
huh?
beautiful residential district where she lived. Forest Lawn.
Love it.
And the exotic perfume she wore. Formaldehyde, number 5. My favorite. And those romantic nights at her apartment, sitting in the unliving room. And that time she was lying on the couch, and I took a pillow and held it over her face. She didn't seem to like that very much. It was a feather pillow, and I guess she must have had an allergy. Because when I took the pillow away, she said, subject for tonight is that world famous scientist who created all the monsters for horror movies. Now, he doesn't have the faintest idea he's going to be on television. He thinks he's been brought down here to build a creature for a new TV series. Well, let's go into the special effects room here at the studio, where he's getting ready to demonstrate it. Here he is in person. He came all the way from Devil's Island, your first creation and lifelong fiend, the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, ach, der Himmel, it is the Phantom.
I haven't seen it for over 25 years. Where did you ever keep up? At the Happy Time Cemetery. Yes, Doctor, your first creation was an instant success. It marked the beginning of a brilliant career, but only the beginning. For no sooner had you finished shocking the public, your hideous phantom, when you immediately released your second masterpiece. And here it is. Open to the progress. Creations. Yeah, that's the blob.
Keep filming. Keep filming. Can you film it? You filming it?
Yeah.
Introducing those teenage sensations, the bluesmen. We invite you to rock with the boys while they sing Lonesome.
Okay, that's enough.
Ain't she walking all the kisses all she got to give? Ain't she here my dream? I'm so lonesome, please come back to meet me. Lonesome for you, baby, won't you all the time? Lonesome for you, baby, won't you please be mine? I need you like the bad, I don't know why.
I'll film her.
This is Cadillac. Cadillac bitch. And this isn't my tape player. This is being piped over a PA system over the entire tape. And they run this all the time. It's amazing. This town calls itself the capital of freaking terror. Everybody tries to dance like Jerry Lewis at all times. You gotta go back and film Chuck Willis. Chuck Willis is cool. We're going around the block here. Day in, day out, all I play is quick guitar music. I mean, that's just somebody I should tell you. Film this sign right here and get a good shot.
My God, what is it?
Hold on.
Oh, it's great.
But still I am happy. In fact, I am glad. For I am as free I said that I loved her and would till I died. I tried to forget her, and I really did try, but I'll still think of her till the day that I die. 'Cause I think that I loved her, though I'll never know why. Oh, she me.
There's a fucking ceramic fucking raccoon in there. I want to get a shot of what we did to the raccoon.
All right, Jeff, listen to me. You can take a rest out there now while Paige and the gang swing out on a little number that's dedicated to everybody with a special date.
He's right here on this. Right here, right inside. I'm gonna pull into the professional office, go over there and film the fucking raccoon and ceramic. We'll fucking finish up our little, what we did to the raccoon video. Right in there. See?
Entirely speechless. The sequence Renaya's Imhotep was reawakening to life after 3,700 years dead in the dust of Egypt. But I hope that some of these excerpts you're about to hear will serve to conjure up visions for you once again of the magic moments of terror in these classic tales.
Hi, how you doing? Yeah, it's talking about the mummy. Yeah.
The first great fright film of the talking era was, of course, Dracula. 3 sinister syllables forever synonymous with Bela Lugosi. He played the role 1,000 times or more on the legitimate stage before transferring it to the screen. And his fame spread from Transylvania, where he was born, to become a household word. Count Dracula, Bela Lugosi, one and the same. A suave, sinister, supernatural figure. His unique voice somehow suited the peculiar intonations and inflections of a prince of darkness, undead 500 years. Hear that magnetic voice again now, as Bela Lugosi speaks to you from the past and introduces himself.
I am Dracula. I bid you welcome. Listen to them. Children of the night.
Cut to this.
What music they make. Very fly. The blood is the life, Mr. Renfield. I trust you have captain. You're coming here. I have chartered a ship. Take us to England. We will be leaving tomorrow evening. I hope you will find this comfortable.
Thanks. It looks very inviting.
This is very old wine. I hope you will like it.
Aren't you drinking?
I never drink. Why?
It's delicious.
And now I'll leave you. Good night, Mr. Redfield.
Empire film classic of 1931. But the movie makers showed the movie goers no mercy that year. Their Christmas present was as grisly a story of science gone wrong as was ever put on the screen. In 1818, the immortal book about a man who made a monster was born in the young female brain of one Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. And over 100 years later, the genius of her imagination was transferred to the medium of the motion picture. I was the misshapen creature in those Depression days of 1931 that had to compete with Father Christmas to bring pleasure to people during Yuletide. But somehow it worked. People queued up at box offices all over the country, breaking records. And afterwards, it was evident that millions all over the world felt sympathy for the monster. It was clear from the letters they sent that while they were terrified by my characterization, at the same time they pitied the monster that I portrayed. And that pleased me because it was exactly what I had hoped. How I came to be built is graphically described in this dramatic scene in which you will hear the voices of three fine actors. Dr. Henry Frankenstein, portrayed by Colin Clive, who died in the late 30s. Dwight Fry, who played in Dracula as well and died in the mid-40s. And Dr. Waldman, played by the late and venerable Edward Van Sloan, who passed away not too long ago in his 82nd year.
The brain you stole, Fritz, and endow it with life. And you really believe that you can bring life to the dead? That body is not dead. It has never lived. I created it. I made it with my own hands from the bodies I took from graves, from the gallows, anywhere. Quite a good scene, isn't it? One man crazy, three very sane spectators.
Look at the way he sits. He's wasted.
Come on, get up and walk. There you go.
That's a big old black bear.
Sorry.
That's a whole black bear in there, boy.
trees.
All right, taking a squirt.
Nice way to put it.
You know this bear? You know its
I
name?
grew up out here.
Huh?
I grew up out here.
Yeah, you know this bear's name?
Samantha.
It's right here.
She was born in 1972.
How old? 72?
20.
She's 20? Yeah, she looks old.
Yeah, you're younger than I am.
Nah, she's a sweetheart. No, I lived down in Oregon for a bunch of years. I've run into lots of bears. You see she's a black bear right away. She's old.
Yep.
I didn't know she was a she. I think you said something made me think she was a she.
Oh, for a long time they thought she was a he.
Bitch, they don't.
And her name was used to be until they found out she was a she. Now her name's Samantha.
You still active maybe or what? No. Yeah, I'm Coast Guard. Both my sons, Charleston's got a lot of work. Man, old. Yeah. You get out of town, you go out to the back road, you see those trees or woods where they don't bother to clean up, still. You can tell.
I'd do it if they let me in.
Yep. So would I. You just got that attitude like, geez, I like people. I wish they could get more.
I don't think this used to be here anymore.
I tell you what, I'll take a wild guess and say the DNR decided to put this up and not the owners, not because of any incident involving the bear. I mean, we just found. I work. Yep. I mean, I'm in the Coast Guard, but at my other job, when I get time off, I work for this horse ranch, the Rock and R in Bear Lake, and they were saying that they wanted a raccoon. And lo and behold, I'm driving from Manistee up to Bear Lake, and I see 2 baby raccoons on the side of the road. So I picked them up. I brought them up to the ranch, and they said, "Terrific, we'll keep them." Well, then we contacted the DNR, and the DNR's.
That was, you shouldn't have did that.
Big mistake, big mistake. You know, we try to do it all by the book so it would be all right up front and above board. And they said, destroy the animal. That's the most humane thing you can do. And we went, hey.
Just tell them you did it.
Right.
I don't know where they came from. We did it.
Right. Forget we call. This is a wrong number. I was trying to call the DNN or something.
There's people that live like 2 miles away from my house. They have a pet deer. They won't call the DNR.
They shouldn't, because, you know, I kind of understand the government position. They take the hard line, which is if somebody gets hurt later on and they said, yeah, go ahead and keep the animal, then they're in trouble.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is if you take the animal and let it go, it's dead. Like young raccoons whose mom, I mean, these were along the side of the road. In a farmer's field, nothing for like, I could see for 2 miles around us, there was nothing, just pasture, and there was nothing there. Just one of them had its legs broken. I'm sure this happened at night. One of them had its legs broken, and the other one had stood by its sibling. And it turned out that the legs weren't broken.
The cage when you want to get in there to clean it out, huh?
So we got passing.
that year and in years soon after, in the old dark house, the Black Cat and the Raven, I went for other little walks about the fact that the villagers in the vicinity of his father's laboratory now made his father's name synonymous with his deadly creation. In one part of the picture, the late Lionel Atwell recalls just how deadly.
The most vivid recollection of my life. I was but a child at the time, about the age of your own son here, Baron. The monster had escaped and was ravaging the countryside, killing, maiming, terrorizing.
Mamie Van Doren.
One night he burst into our house. My father took account of fire at him. But a savage brute sent him crashing to a corner.
I wonder why there's a trail.
Then he grabbed me by the arm. One doesn't easily forget here, Baron. An arm torn out by the roots.
Bela Lugosi was back in Son of Frankenstein, and in a completely off-track role for him. As Igor, the demented blacksmith, he created a characterization which was a great verbal triumph. A far cry from the sinister, albeit highly sophisticated Count Dracula in Human Vampire was the crude, gruff Igor. Listen now to the well-disguised voice of my friend as he describes how he cheated the hangman's noose and lived.
My name is Igor. Let me go, Frankenstein. You see that? They hanged me once, Frankenstein. They broke. They said I was dead. And they cut me down. They threw me in here long ago. They wouldn't bury me in a holy place like churchyard because I stole brothers. They said, so Igor is dead.
Again, ready?
Frankenstein. Nobody can mend Igor's neck. It's all right.
The boiling sulfur bath that I took at the end of the Son of Frankenstein was hardly a health cure, and it was the last time I ever played my old friend, the monster. But there were other monsters for me and for my friends as well. In 1935, when I was appearing in The Bride of Frankenstein, I remember a very talented New York stage actor was making his debut on the lot in The Werewolf of London. That was Henry Hull, and his portrayal of the lycanthrope was remarkable. But it was The Wolfman of 1941, starring Lon Chaney the Younger, that really established lycanthropes as a genre. As the doomed Larry Talbot, he played a role that would have done credit to his dad. Incidentally, I knew Chaney Sr., the original makeup wizard, the man of 1,000 faces. But young Lon never had a chance in The Wolfman. Here's why, in a film quote that's become as classic as, "He meddled with things man was meant to leave alone, for I never drink wine." Even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright. And when it was all over for Larry Talbot,
Look at this.
when he had fought against werewolfery for the last time and lost, and been killed by a silver-headed cane, his epitaph was spoken by one of the cinema's grand old ladies of the past, Maria Uspenskaya.
The way you walked was truly through no fault of your own. But as the rain enters the soil, the river enters the sea. So tears ran to a predestined end. Your suffering is over. Now you will find peace for eternity.
from 1945 when I played Dr. Neiman, disguised as Dr. Lampini in The House of Frankenstein. I'd acquired the skeleton of the infamous Count Dracula in that one. And this is what I had to say on the subject.
No doubt there are some among you who will doubt the truth of what I'm about to say, or doubt the reality of what you're about to see. But believe me, my friend, this is no fake. Before your very eyes is all that remains of a vampire, one of the world's undead. Here I but remove this stake from where his heart once beat, and he would rise from the grave within which he lies, and turn into a bat, a vampire bat, would feed hideously upon the living, whose veins pulsate with warm and vibrant blood. Ladies and gentlemen, the actual skeleton of Count Dracula, the vampire. Furthermore, my friends, one single ray of sunlight falling upon a vampire will destroy him.
I know my truck.
If you had tires, you